Good morning. We'd like to welcome everybody to Austintown Fitch High School as we have yet another special signing today of several athletes who will be taking their talents, their academics and athletic talents to different colleges to further their career after high school. Today we have 7 young men in front of us. The one thing they all have in common is they're going to continue their athletic and academic career with the same sport. But we'll let each young man tell you what's going on. First, we want to start to my immediate left, Mr. Nick Bush. Nick, we want to congratulate you as a senior here at Austintown Fitch High School. Nick, start out by telling us where you are going to college next year.
I'm going to be going to Malone University in Canton, Ohio.
Congratulations on that, Nick. And you will be competing in what sport?
Football.
Wonderful. Nick, throughout the last 4 years here at Austintown Fitch High School, you have had to have high expectations of yourself to be a high performer athletically and academically. Tell us about your story in order to achieve that.
Well, I guess, I don't know. Freshman year, I've come a long way, both like physically and mentally, but that's because of the coaches. They've ingrained in me that character is always more important than any physical trait. So physical abilities will always follow character. So if I work on my mental capacity, that will also help my physical abilities. So I know like toughness, that will always be more valuable than how tall I am. But I've also grown, like I've gotten bigger too. So that's helped a lot.
You talked a little bit about how the coaches have helped shape you and challenge you. How about the role your family has played your entire life to help get you here?
Yeah, they've supported me in everything I do. Because like whenever I get an idea, I just run with it. So like I don't really ask questions. I just kind of do first and then ask later. So I kind of just they always support me though. So always working out and practice every day. Whenever I need a ride, they would give me a ride. So I owe it all to them, really.
And finally, Nick, how has Austintown Fitch in general helped prepare you for college?
The teachers, I'll start off with them. They demand a lot out of us. So that's like attendance, like, and especially as an athlete, if I'm not coming to class, they're gonna like tell my coaches. And even Coach Anarella, he checks up on our grades, so I can't slack in the classroom, so I'll hear about it there. So it's kind of football and academics go hand in hand. So I realize like I need to focus in the classroom before I ever worry about football field.
Nick, thank you very much. All your answers definitely came from your heart. We appreciate that. Moving on now, Jakari Lumsden. Jakari, please tell us where you will be going to college next year.
I'll be going to Eastern Kentucky and Richmond, Kentucky.
And what sport will you focus on?
Football.
Congratulations, Jakari. Jakari, let's talk about your athletic career a little bit. Tell us different steps that you've had to take to keep yourself motivated to help get you to Eastern Kentucky.
For one, the support of my teammates. Without them, I wouldn't have anybody to push me. Even though like the coaches and like parents, they push you. It's these guys right here who motivate me every day to go out there and do what I love.
And let's take that a little further, Jakari. Let's talk about your extended family members and friends outside of your athletes who are on the same team as you and coaches. How has your extended family members and friends helped you achieve this goal?
They show nothing but support. They just give me like the tools and stuff to help me like to just become a better person, not just a better athlete.
And finally, Jakari, student athletes have to prioritize their time. How are you able to balance all of the practices that you participate in, as well as getting the proper sleep, working on your academics, everything involved?
It's a lot of sleep missed. For one, that's one thing. Being a student athlete it isn't easy, but it's not made for everybody.
Congratulations, Jakari. Moving on to Dylan Correa. Dylan, where will you be going to school next year?
Geneva College in Beaver Falls, PA.
And what sport will you focus on?
Football.
Congratulations, Dylan.
Thank you.
Dylan, your particular position in football is very unique, unlike some of the other positions. When it comes to place kicking, what is the mindset that you have to be successful?
I have to be in the moment. I can't hear anything or see anything. I lock in and I have to let everything ride. I prepare all off season and all week, and you can't be thinking at all when you kick.
How have various coaches as well as your family members helped to get you to Geneva College, literally over the past 18 years?
Well, they support me. My family paid for tons of camps and had me travel around the country. They give me my special shoes to kick with. My coaches taught me how to handle adversity, which I'm going to be dealing a lot with at a Christian university. And also, like I've had run-ins with my character, and they have taught me to be better with that. So.
And Dylan, how has Austintown Fitch helped prepare you for the next step?
Well, I think in football, as far as kicking, I think with our practices, for me, I feel like that prepared me for the next level. I feel like also with our teachers, they prepare us for the next level in college, especially in English, with their papers and stuff. So.
Okay. Mr. Nate Armstrong. Nate, please tell us where you will be going to college next year.
Westminster College in New Wilmington, PA.
Congratulations. And what sport will you focus on?
Football.
Nate, let's talk about the demands that you've had to expect of yourself to be a high-performing athlete in high school and even before high school.
I mean, it just was hard work and dedication and actually pushing myself to being, try to be the top athlete and the best lineman I could be.
Using that mindset, how has that helped you to be the best that you can be academically in school as well?
Just pushing myself, knowing that procrastination is not something that I need to, be set on and doing my work when you do.
Nate, we know that you care deeply about those who have helped you to get to this table today. How has your family impacted your life?
Well, always being in my corner, letting me know that that they're with me, whatever I do.
And Nate, I have one final question for you. I'm thinking of all the young men and young women, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, who might want to sit at this table someday. What advice would you give to young student athletes?
Never give up. Never. Always push yourself and never doubt yourself. And if you want to do something, do it and be the best at it.
Nick DeSalvo, will you please tell us where you'll be going to college next year?
Youngstown State University.
Congratulations. Like Dylan, your particular position is very unique. And by the way, Nick, what sport will you be focusing on?
Football.
Okay, I made a bad assumption because I knew that on my own. As a punter, mentally, what is the mindset that you have to have during a game?
Kind of like Dylan said, you have to block everything out and just focus on your one kick and try to make it your best one.
When you talk about blocking everything out, how do you go about doing that so you're not distracted when it comes to academics and you can be successful?
Just relying on friends and teachers to get me through that.
Okay. And how has your family helped you to be successful and achieve great things?
They've been like great supporters. They've always helped me, like paying for camps, like Dylan said, getting me to proper training and shoes and stuff.
And finally, how has the Austintown Fitch family supported you so that you can move on to college?
Like the coaches, teachers, they've taught me how to handle when things go wrong and adversity. Just keep going forward and get through it.
Joey Zielinski. Joey, where will you be going to college next year?
I'll be going to Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And what sport will you be focusing on?
Football.
Joe, let's talk about how the coaches at the high school level, and maybe even coaches before that, have helped shape you to be the athlete that you demand of yourself.
Well, a huge thanks have to go out to the coaches. I mean, they push you every day in practice and then get you ready for the games. And also, I noticed at the high school level, Coach Generell, he really cares about you, makes you become like a real man. That's what he preaches. And then, like, grades-wise, too, he's always on you for that.
Joe, you've been in a very unique situation, but something that other athletes throughout the United States have experienced, and that is this. Your father has been a coach all of your high school career as an athlete. How has that helped in a way that probably can be tough as a son, but you wouldn't trade it for the world?
Yeah, I mean, I have my dad there the whole ride. I mean, it's great. We got to share the same moments that if he wasn't a coach that he wouldn't get to share. And he's there pushing me. And sometimes it has its difficulties, but most of the time, I love it.
And let's not forget your mother, who is probably the rock in your life. How has she pushed you throughout the years?
I mean, she's probably like the main reason I'm here right now with my grades. The mornings you don't want to get up for practice or that, she's in your room waking you up for practice. Always making sure if you have a test, you're studying for the test, you're not playing Xbox, not going out with friends, nothing. So, I mean, without her, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Joe, the final question, it's a phrase that many schools use where they substitute the pronoun I, and that is this: I am Fitch. Talk about yourself personally. I am Fitch means what to you?
I mean, I take a lot of pride in like coming out of Fitch. I think it's a great school. The teachers really care. The coaches really care. I think everyone that comes here should really like be proud that they came to Fitch, and that you should hold yourself to the higher standard of academic and athletically in whatever you do in life.
Randy Smith. Randy, please tell us where you're going to college next year.
I'll be attending Youngstown State University.
And focusing on what sport?
Football.
Randy, you've been involved in sports for literally your entire life. In order to be successful, what have you expected of yourself first?
Well, just like hard work. My dad is my biggest critic. He'll always tell me even if I don't like it, and he knows what he's talking about, so I'll listen to him.
And you've been under the tutelage of so many coaches throughout your career. How have all of these coaches collectively helped you to be a better man and a better athlete?
Well, they all demand excellence, and just hard work, and they're never going to let you slack off, and if you're not doing something right, they're going to let you know about it.
You had mentioned your dad. Let's talk a little bit more. How has your family been there 24/7 all these years?
Well, just when I couldn't drive, always taking me to practice, taking me to camps, on visits, numerous things, helping me with homework, everything.
And how has your experience here at Austintown Fitch High School helped prepare you for college?
Well, we're the only D1 team left in the area, and we play the best schedule and the toughest teams, and you just got to work hard if you want to be on top.
Gentlemen, before you sign your national letters of intent, at this time we're going to ask all of your family members to be behind you as a symbol that it's not just about you, but about the love and support that they've given you all these years. So at this time, if we could have family members come on up with their sons. and extended family members.
Yeah, 8.5.
To our parents, family members, and coaches who are standing behind our student athletes, we congratulate you. You have been the examples for your sons. Boys, at this time, let's make it official. Welcome to Austintown Fitch High School as we celebrate today two of our Austintown Fitch student athletes who will be moving on athletically and academically to the college level. We have with us today Brittany and Lauren, and we're going to start with Brittany. Brittany McFall, please tell us where you're going to school next year.
I will be attending Youngstown State University.
And what sport will you focus on?
Soccer.
Brittany, we know that you've played soccer probably since you could walk. Let's talk about the different skill set that you've had to learn throughout the years in order to excel at the high level that you have at the high school level.
Honestly, playing club with my club team and at the highest level I can possibly play at has definitely impacted where I'm standing right now, and it's helped me so much to accomplish more.
We know that soccer can be a very physical sport. How do you go ahead and just lay it on the line, leave it all on the field, not only for yourself, but for your team to be successful?
Well, my coaches and my teammates definitely pushed me to my highest level I possibly can be at, and they've just pushed me over the past years and just have helped me be successful.
When it comes to being pushed by others to be successful, what have you expected of yourself to maintain the academic standard that only you can be satisfied with?
Not only my teachers, but my parents have definitely pushed me. My dad pushes me every single day. And
what advice would you give to young athletes who have a real passion for soccer and they want to be successful?
never give up. Last year, I was debating whether I wanted to play college soccer or not because I felt that I wasn't good enough, and it pushed me even more, and I just got to the weight limit.
Miss Lauren Dolak. Lauren, where will you be going to school next year?
I will be going to Youngstown State University.
And what sport will you be focusing on?
Soccer.
Lauren, I want you to think of all of the different demands that athletics has put on your body and on your time. And even though they're difficult, you wouldn't trade it for the world. Because why?
It's definitely demanding mentally and physically, but I love sports, and I wouldn't be who I am today without playing them.
Academically, what are the different types of self-discipline strategies that you've used to be successful?
Time management is a big one. With practice and playing multiple sports, it's hard to make time for everything, so that's probably the biggest one.
The next two questions, I'm going to consider them to be two-part, and I'm going to ask both Brittany and Lauren the same two questions. So Brittany, talk a little bit more about how your family has supported you, and then how Austintown Fitch has helped prepare you for Youngstown State.
Definitely my dad. He has helped me so much, and playing club, it's not cheap. So he definitely has put the money worth, and it's made it all worth it. And Fitch has impacted me, the teachers, the principals, everyone has pushed me just to get to this level that I'm at right now.
Lauren, your family and Austintown Fitch.
My family is the reason I've been able to do everything that I have. They've supported me with everything that I've done. And Fitch is a great school athletically and academically, and I think anyone that wants to be successful should go here.
Ladies, before we make it official, we're going to ask that your family members come stand behind you. Girls, as you said earlier, it's not just about you, but it's about your family that has supported you through all of these years as well. Let's go ahead and make it official now.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.